Hi there and welcome to Microsoft Not Just for the Office. Today I'll be showing you how to create a digital birthday card. It was my colleague Gareth's 25th birthday, so instead of a card, I made him a GIF. And this is what it looks like. The first thing I wanted to do was create the superhero character of Gareth. I went to the internet and searched for superhero PNG and found this bad boy. PNGs are a picture format that usually don't have a background, so they're a bit more flexible when you're layering multiple pictures on top of each other. So I saved this picture to my computer as well as a picture of Gareth's face. I then went to Insert Pictures, put in the superhero picture and Gareth's face, and then I cropped Gareth's face, right-click, crop, so that it was as much as possible just his face showing. I also wanted to get rid of his hoodie. When you click on a picture, you get the Picture Format tab, and you can choose things like Remove Background. Anything pink will be removed, so then mark areas to keep and just doodle around. Ensure that there's no pink parts of the picture. And this is no Photoshop, so it's not going to look amazing, but that wasn't what I was going for. I was going for humorous. So then I want to superimpose Gareth's face onto my superhero. Unfortunately, it sits behind him. So I'm going to right click on the superhero picture and send him to the back so that I can actually see Gareth's pretty face. Resize that face by pulling the resizing handles on the corner. If you pull them on the edges, Gareth gets a little bit chubby, so Control Z if you need to accidentally do that. To save this as a single picture, I hold Control and click the second picture so that I have the both selected, right click and choose Save as Picture. Now I have Gareth's superhero picture. I'm going to start on the actual presentation. First of all, I wanted my GIF to be square. I go to the Design tab and choose Slide Size and choose Custom Slide Size. The height is 1905, so I'm going to make the width exactly that. I don't have anything on my slide yet, but I'd usually want to ensure fit so that everything is visible. And there we have a square slide. I then went to the internet again to find a cartoon sky, and I found this one. Now sometimes I download pictures, sometimes I simply right click and copy image. In either case, if you are working on any kind of commercial PowerPoint presentations, you do want to make sure that you have copyright permissions or that you're using license-free pictures, and I pasted that picture in. I want to fill the slide with this picture, so I drag the corner resizing handles, and if you hold Control whilst doing that, it will grow your picture in both directions, whereas if you don't hold Control on your keyboard, it will only grow it in the one direction. So hold Control and it will do it both ways. Now it is sticking out over the edges of the slide, and I'm a bit of a perfectionist like that. I want to crop it to size, so I right click and crop the picture, and I want to crop it to the edge of the slide. Again, you'll see guides popping up, and if you hold Control, it will shrink it from both sides. So I'm happy with that, but you could also move the picture a bit more if you wanted to get a particular part of the picture in view. The next thing I did with my slide was include Gareth's name, and for that I used word art. So on the Insert tab, you have, on the text group, you have word art, and the one I used in this case was that one. So all you do is overtype it with the text you want. Select the text and choose a larger font size, or I simply use the up arrow to increase the font size. And that font size is also on the Home tab, where you can set it here or with the buttons. What else do I want to change? This particular word art has an orange drop shadow, and I actually want the lettering to be orange and the drop shadow blue. So select the text, and then on the contextual tab for shape format, you have the word art styles, where you can say actually the fill color, if I hover over it, that's the text fill. I want that to be orange, and then the shadow or the text effects is available in here, where at the bottom you can choose shadow options. I can then choose the color of my shadow. You can set all sorts of options here, and usually it's just a matter of playing around. So I made the shadow slightly larger or further back. You can change the angle. This looks quite fun to try. And then you also have some options here for the 3D format and 3D rotation. I think I played around with 3D rotation on this one. But as I said, just play around with it. I think I may have chosen one of these. If you think, oh yeah, that looks about right, you can drag your picture, or you drag your word art by clicking and dragging on the edge of its placeholder and just dragging it to roughly where you want it to go. Now I want to put in Gareth's superhero picture. Simply insert pictures and put him in. Again, you can resize by clicking and dragging the corner fill handles. So there is my first slide. When I put my original slideshow into slideshow mode, when I transition to the second slide, Gareth's picture grows and fills the screen. I do that using the Morph transition. The transitions are how you transition from slide to slide. So the Morph, if you hover over it, tells you what it does. So to get the best results, you duplicate the slide, move things around, and apply the Morph transition to the second slide. So to duplicate the slide, right click, duplicate, or press Ctrl and D. On the second slide, I'm removing the word art and I'm growing Gareth's picture so that he fills the slide. Place him in the middle. You can either use the guides, or on the picture format tab, you can choose the align button to align in the center and align in the middle. So on my second slide, I now go to transitions and choose Morph. And it gives me a little preview of what that's going to look like. The third slide is just a picture that I found on the internet again, which is reminiscent of a famous movie house because Gareth quite likes films. The fourth slide looks like this. I took the first slide and duplicated it, Ctrl D, moved it to the bottom, removed Gareth's superhero picture, and replaced the text. A bit too large, so between the words I want to put an enter. It's a little bit better, but it still needs to be a lot smaller, so I can use the decrease font size button on the Home tab to make this a little bit smaller so it fits better, and then move it so that it's roughly in the middle. As long as you're happy with how it looks, that's sufficient. My final two slides are birthday messages from me and my colleague. So what I did here is I asked my colleague to write a message on a blank piece of paper, take a picture of it, and send it to me. I then insert pictures, And in this case, I want to turn it on its side, so you can use the Teletubby handle at the top of a picture to rotate it. Use the control and drag to make this as large as possible so that it fits on the slide. Right click, crop. Crop out as much blank space as you can on either side. Now when you're clicked on a picture, you'll have the picture format tab again. If you're not quite clicked on a picture, it's not there. So if you've ever lost it, that's why. You've just not clicked on the picture. And on the picture format tab, you have some options such as corrections. If you hover over these, they give you a preview of what the picture is going to look like. I find this usually quite effective for correcting the picture. With this one, there's also a bit of a yellow color cast, so another correction that you can do is desaturation, which makes it black and white. So those are all my slides for my birthday card, or my birthday gift, but there's one more thing I want to do. When I put this presentation into slideshow mode, the first transition is quite nice. The second and onward are a little bit abrupt. I click on the third slide, go to the transitions, and how does it move from one slide to the next? On this one I used a fade. On this slide I used a zoom transition. And on the messages I used the flip. So all that's left to do now is to convert my PowerPoint presentation to a GIF. You can do that by going to File, Save As, and then changing the type to an animated GIF. However, that doesn't give you a whole lot of control, so the better way to do it is by going to Export, choosing Create an Animated GIF, then choose how large you want the file size to be. With GIFs, because you normally share them via WhatsApp and such, it's probably better to stick to medium small. How much time to spend on each slide? I chose 3 and I wanted to do all slides, so I create GIF. Save your GIF to your OneDrive so that you can share it more easily from your phone's OneDrive app. Open the OneDrive app on your phone, find the file and open it, and then choose Share. Send files, otherwise it will send a link, and then choose WhatsApp. And that is how you create a digital birthday card. Hope to see you next time!